Teenage boys are kind of disgusting. And by disgusting, I mean they're gross, right? Their hygiene, not super great. Their grooming, not super good. Today, gentlemen, I'm going over some teenage grooming mistakes that a lot of you men are making that are making you look like a teen. You gotta stop it because it's gross. Your lips, they're cracked, they're chapped. Teenage boys are notorious for having nasty, like peely, puffy, cracked, chapped, nasty lips. Unsexy, and it's totally preventable. A small dab of Vaseline on your lips every night before you go to bed is the best way and the easiest thing you can do to never have chapped lips, like literally ever, all right? Number two is actually your nails. And that's something else that you can do with Vaseline, and that is use it as a conditioner for your cuticles, all right? If you have bitten nails, it's gross, all right? Teen boys bite their nails. They also sometimes will have like long nails. Have you ever looked down at like a teen dude's hands and they've got like long nails? It's so gross. There's no sideburns, all right? This is the biggest teen rookie mistake I've ever seen. A lot of teenage boys chop their sideburns way too high. You need sideburns to help frame your face and finish a hairstyle. And so right where that little doohickey thing is, boom, angle it slightly to follow your jawline. You're gonna look a whole lot better. Speaking of jawlines, let's talk about facial hair and beards, all right? If you have straggly, thin beards and you're letting it grow long, another rookie mistake, gentlemen, you gotta trim it short. If your beard is thin or patchy, it looks better when it's shorter. When it starts to get long, it looks a little bit sparse and it looks a little bit not good. Hair, gentlemen, one of the things that separates grown men and sexy dudes from teen boys and dudes that are nasty is their hair, all right? Few things we gotta talk about. Number one, you're using too much hair product. You don't need to use as much hair product as you think you do. If you're using a lot to try and get your hair to stand up, you're using the wrong product, all right? Number two, if you're using cheap products, this is something else that young dudes do. They go to the drugstore or the grocery store and they buy whatever's on sale, whatever's cheapest, the Axe, the Dove, the Old Spice, right? And they use it and they're like, why is my hair not healthy in a few years? It's because you're using cheap, low quality products, all right? A lot of them have high alcohol contents. They're going to damage and dry out your hair. Increase the quality of the products that you're actually using. I'll link down below to Pete and Pedro. Our products are healthy for your hair. They also work better. Another mistake that young dudes make is that they're using the wrong product for the style and the hair that they have. All right? The deal is, guys, you've got to make sure that the product that you're using is consistent with the style and the hair texture that you're actually working with. Eyebrows, the next thing that makes you look like a teen, all right? So here's the deal. If they're just all crazy and long and like unmaintained, it's not good. You look horrible, all right? You either look like a teen or an old man. Either one, not good, all right? Or you're too wide in terms of plucking the center. All right, another common mistake that I see a lot of young guys making is they'll go too far in terms of plucking the center or shaving, which is another huge mistake that young dudes make. They shave their brows as opposed to actually tweezing and plucking. When you go too wide and make your brows too short, you look a little bit slow. And by slow, I mean slow. To find the starting point for your brows, guys, just take something straight like a comb, place it on the side of the tip of your nose, right? Up there. You're gonna pluck everything in between, leave everything out here. And then to find the outside angle, take that same straight item and place it on the center of your nose and go to the outer corner of your eye. That is where your eyebrow should start and stop. Speaking of stopping, the next mistake, gentlemen, is stop using nasty deodorant, cologne, and body spray, all right? Here's the deal. Young dudes stink. Either they stink like BO because they're not actually using the right deodorant and their hormones are raging, or they're wearing the wrong cologne, or they're wearing the wrong body spray. So first up, body sprays, don't ever do it. If you're an adult dude, you need a proper fragrance. You shouldn't wear something that your little brother is wearing in terms of fragrance. You shouldn't wear her ex-boyfriend's fragrance. And so what I'd recommend, gentlemen, is upgrade to a mature, sexy scent like Rebel. I'm gonna link to this down below. It is inspired by Creed Aventus, but instead of $450 a bottle, it's literally $50. Amazing deal, amazing fragrance. But it gets even better because right now, for a limited time, if you hit my special link, guys, you're gonna get the body bar for free because I want you to smell amazing, and that's one of the things that young dudes don't do. All right, I'm giving this to you for free. It's an exfoliating body bar. You use it in the shower. It smells amazing like eucalyptus spearmint. I'm also gonna throw in the natural deodorant for free. These two products, a $28 value for free when you buy a fragrance. But you gotta go through my special link in order to grab this amazing deal. Guys, the deodorant is the best natural deodorant on the market. It is eucalyptus spearmint. It is fresh, it is masculine, but it's not overpowering, and it's not gonna jack up your endocrine system. Free. Guys, if you want these two products, a $28 value for free when you purchase a fragrance from Pete and Pedro, I've got that special link down below. Do not wait, because supplies are limited and this deal will not last. But what will last is Rebel, because it's powerful and it literally is gonna project all day long, and the compliments, plentiful. Teeth, tongue, breath, funky. You? No. Good. Gentlemen, the deal is you gotta make sure that your mouth and your oral hygiene game is strong. And by strong, I mean crazy strong. If your breath smells like you ate a turd burger for breakfast, no good. Nobody wants to be around you, and it's disgusting, all right? Another thing, a lot of young dudes are like, but it smells okay to me. That's not how you tell, all right? If you want to know if your breath stinks, here's the test. Take your hand, big lick the back of it. Let it dry. Smell. How does it smell? If the answer is turd burger, bad news. You got to fix your oral hygiene game. But if you sniff and you're like, yeah, it's clean, fresh, a little bit minty, or it doesn't smell like anything, good news, gentlemen. Your breath is pretty good. Here's the deal. You got to make sure your teeth are clean. You got to make sure they are white. You can't have a bunch of nasty crap, all right? Tartar, plaque, yellow nastiness is a deal breaker, but so many of you still rock it. Don't rock it. Get rid of it. Do it today. Don't wait. Ears. The next thing, I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you this, because a lot of these things I think are common sense, but apparently not, because I meet a lot of dudes and they'll like turn their head and their ears are disgusting. Whether or not they got hair, that's a whole nother story, or they're just dirty. They've got like flakes and yellow like wax in there. Gentlemen, you gotta make sure your ear game is strong, like super strong, all right? Take it from somebody with pointy little ears. I'm always worried about my ears. You've got to do better. You got to use a Q-tip after the shower at least 3 times a week. And then get a tissue. Actually, I'll show you the move. Get a tissue, right? When your ears are wet from the shower, the steam softened everything, right? Wrap the tissue around there and just trace the crease of your ear. Get down in there. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. Chubby little cheeks, round face. Gentlemen, that's the next thing we got to talk about. All right, so here's the deal. If you're eating a diet that's high in salt, high in sulfites, high in sugar, high in carbs, high in not good stuff, your face is going to get a little bit full because you're going to retain water. You're also probably retaining a little more fat than you should in your lower jaw. 120 ounces of water a day. I add lemon to act as a natural diuretic. It also makes it taste better. It's going to help flush your system. Reduce the amount of carbs you're consuming, all right? Reduce the amount of sugar. Reduce the amount of salts and nasty processed crap. Your face will lean out and grow a beard, little stubble. Gentlemen, the fact is, if you have purposeful designer stubble or 10-day stubble, you're going to look a lot better, all right? If you carve it and edge it up properly, it's gonna help accentuate your jaw, make it look stronger. It's also gonna basically make you look like a sex machine, because that is what beards do. Which brings me to the next mistake, and that is clean shaven. Always being clean shaven, all right? Young dudes, right? They get a few hairs and they're like, sweet, I'm gonna start shaving. And then they keep shaving and they got that baby little face that all the women want to they don't want to do that. They want to smack it, flip it, rub it down and get you to grow a beard and look like a man. Think of beards or facial hair as kind of like the male equivalent to makeup, right? You take a woman, not super hot. You throw a little smoky eye on, a little lip gloss, a little blush. Oh my God. She goes from like a 3.5 to an 11.5. Like that. Beards do the exact same thing for dudes. Gentlemen, the fact is, young dudes, teenage boys are nasty. And if you are a grown man and you're doing any of the nasty things that these young teen dudes do, you are also nasty. But hopefully after this video, you have seen the light of day. You also smell sexy as hell, thanks to Rebel. Hit the link. Don't wait. Hit it now. Pete and Pedro for life.